You know what time it is. We're going in on the truth. We already put it in the chat. It's going to be a hot one. So maybe one day Yahuwah will say, no, let's just kind of ease on it and, just kind of really kind of keep it on an even keel, be chill. But for right now, he's not doing that. He's saying it's got to be hot. We got to grab the right people. We got to get some people that are truth warriors for Yahuwah. So y'all drop your names and your city, state, or your city and country in the chat. Hit the like button. If you're coming in on the live, you got to hit the like button. If you're coming in on the replay, make sure that you hit the like button as well and that you share it out. Like, just smash the likes. They got these little heart things and whatever in the I think right there by the comments. So just hit those things. Those make a big difference. Who's coming in tonight? Daniel's in the building. Mike's in the building. Amber's in the building. Mike Cruz is in the building. Lisa's in the building. Weldon's in the building. Representing Bahamas. Yeah. Sherry Harrod, truth warrior. For a fact, y'all can know that Sherry Harrod is a truth warrior. Daniel Libby's in the building. Big time truth warrior. Alicia from New Zealand is in the building. Jamie Galloway, truth warrior. Look at all these truth warriors showing up. Megan, Trinidad and Tobago, we all up in the Caribbean representing. Y'all know I started later than normal because you never know when I'm gonna have time. What we try to do is with the translations now to get to meet the spring, so the pagan April 2024, we got to do about 3 to 5 chapters a day. So we're about at 3 today, and then it'll pick up. You start to get a rhythm. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all gonna be tore up when y'all understand, because Yahuwah said, "Go into Abarim." So Abarim. Some people say Abarim, Abarim. I think that's a better pronunciation. Abarim, sign name Hebrews. Go translate that and release that to everyone that is PAC qualified. Give them the digital copy of that. So probably in the next couple of weeks, those of you that have started out with the bronze pack or higher, or accumulated to a bronze pack or higher over at TSNT, you're going to get the digital copy of the entire chapter of Abarim, which is Hebrews. And I now understand. I didn't understand why I felt in my spirit that I needed to do that first. I didn't understand it. Hey, my daddy's in here. What's up, Pop? Kentucky's in the building representing. Salinthia, North Carolina's in here. Who else is in here? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Amber House, Illinois is in here. Coles is in here. Lisa Austin, Truth Warriors in the building. Maryland. Man, we got people from everywhere. I'm up in the later time, typical. This is cool because we can catch our South Pacific people. And let me get a little blackberry juice. Man, I tell y'all what, y'all not even gonna believe what's gonna happen tonight or today, depending on where you're at. I promise you it's gonna be hot. Y'all see the title, you know it's gonna be hot. So y'all go share this out. I'm just letting the algorithm work before I get going. Go ahead and share it out. Share it out. Hit the share. Hit 3 or 4 people. That's all you got to do. You got to be a witness. You got to be a disciple for Yahuwah. Okay. So I'm translating. What's going on, Jay? Jay White, Oklahoma, set it in New Mexico. So I'm translating. And then I begin to understand. I talked to one of my great students that's become like a son / brother / just deep, J.C. Rangel, Juan Rangel. He supported the true scriptures. And I trained him since I'm 55, right? And I was like 43 at the time I started training him. So it was a long time ago. He was 28. And he's got his family, following Yahuwah. And he's done great in his life. But today we were sitting there talking, and he was talking about how important this project is. He's like, sir, you got to understand that project is important. I said, JC, I believe it's the most important thing in the world since Yahuwah is resurrected. He goes, I agree. Because if you don't have a true word, what do you have? So while I'm translating Abarim, Hebrews, I get it. Tiffany, one of our favorite people ever, truth warrior in the building. I start getting it, why he wanted me to translate Abarim first. Because see, the original language is Abarim. It's Abari, I should say, Hebrew. Abarim is Hebrews, right? What's up, Shane? Coming in from Fiji. See, I told you South Pacific's going to come in here. So when I started understanding why he's doing that, see, the beginning chapters of Abarim is all about establishing who Yahusha is in his relation to the Father Yahuwah. So it's clarifying clearly who the Son and the Father is. And then what it's doing is it's edifying each other. So the Father's edifying the Son to the max, right? And the Son edifies himself by his sacrifice, what he did, which brings back esteem to the Father and establishes that those two are one. And it makes it indisputable that Yahusha is Yahuwah. And Yahuwah is Yahusha. He came to be Yahusha. And what I believe now is that that wordplay, you might call it, is to decide and to divide and to separate those who are truly his. Those who have to come to the conclusion that Yahuwah can be whatever he wants to be. That's what's going down. In Abarim, in the beginning chapters, I'm telling y'all, I'm sitting there translating this stuff. And I got an incredible supportive staff. And y'all don't know them, but they work their tails off. They try to answer as much of the comments, the emails. They're on top as much as possible. They're working. It's limited staff. We want to expand that as we expand the kingdom. But I'm telling y'all, when I'm sitting there doing that translation, I'm getting it. I'm like, it's on and popping. Look at that. Weldon said, I just donated $144 because I'm one of the 144. Come on, Weldon. You might make $144 contribution famous. Weldon might make it famous off of that. Like you might want to do X amount, but you might want to put 144 in first and then do X amount. Shout out to Weldon in the Bahamas. I love the Caribbean, by the way. That water, that ocean water is a different anywhere. I've been all over the world. That Caribbean water is just the best, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Margaret Sykes from Alabama. Alicia, where you at, Alicia? Come on, y'all got to drop where you're from. Don't come in here and don't represent. Because the world needs to know. We're tagging places all over the world. All right, I've warmed it up. It's time to go in. 10 minutes of warm up, and I'm going in. All right. Truth warriors for Yahuwah. Truth warriors for Yahuwah. Where we're going to start is when Yahuwah finally devastated Matsri, Egypt. When he finally devastated Matsri, Yahusha and the family. There's about 1 million people. I don't know if y'all understand that. My air conditioner is really cold tonight. Hold on one second. I got it colder, no, I got to get a little warmer. That air conditioner is serious. It must gonna get hot in here tonight because the air conditioner is like piping. Nia says she got her shirts today. Mug is on the way. Come on, Nia. You got your 144? Represent. So listen. This is important because you got to understand the 400-year struggle. So Yahuwah sent me to slow it down. I think that's why people resonate so much with the promote the truth message, including my own dad. He's watching this right now. He will tell you, my dad he says, son, I started this. My dad rebelled. Shout out to my dad. Because my grandfather was a deacon of the Baptist Church, Southern Baptist. My great-grandfather was a deacon, Southern Baptist. And they had my dad become a deacon. And my dad said, wait a minute. And my dad went and started asking a bunch of questions. And they couldn't answer his questions. So he did a little mini revolt. And they were like, what are you trying to do? You trying to change things? And my dad said, yes, I just want to know the truth. But you see, this time of what we're in now is about capacity. Yahuwah is releasing more information. He's increasing knowledge on the earth. So I want y'all to do me a favor before I go in. I want y'all to be easy on your parents, your mamas, your daddies. I want y'all to be easy on your grandparents, your great-grandparents. You don't really understand that they were under curses. And if they didn't get in the right situation, they wouldn't get this real knowledge. So they were doing the best they could with what they had to work with, and some of them didn't do a great job. But your job is to move into empathy, not criticism. That's your job. Philippines is in here. See? We're getting that Asia connection coming in. Orly, I see you, Philippines. Your job is not to criticize. Your job is to empathize as best you can. That shows that you're ready to elevate in Yahuwah when you can empathize. So my dad begins to revolt. Well, that spirit of my dad that revolted must have shook down at me somehow, because I started asking a bunch of questions too. Alisa in the building, Seattle, Washington, and I couldn't get the answers. So I got frustrated and I jetted, except I went to a whole nother level. I went to a deep study. But it starts from somewhere. See, whenever you decide to go, you didn't go just on your own. Nobody goes on their own. Everybody gets a seed coming from somewhere. That's why you got to be careful about criticism, because you don't know where your seed's going to come from. See, it can look like it's crazy, because my dad will tell you he was nuts. He was crazy, and my mom was crazy. Both of them was crazy. That's why I was so close to my grandparents, because they was going through their stuff. But my dad at least planted a seed. So you got to show love. You got to show honor to them seeds, and let the criticism stay on the back channel. Now, we just keep progressing. We keep progressing. We keep progressing. And now those of us that have this light, as knowledge is increasing, we can see things better. So now when we look back at Masha, we can understand there's a 400-year period of deep suppression, like our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. Why are you being critical of them? When the people of old, they had a 400-year suppression. Does that make sense? 400 years. Yahuwah kept them suppressed. But those seeds kept getting planted, and then one day, Masha shows up on the scene. And that's what's going on now. That's what's going on now. Many of us, we're from that Masha types. We're from that Masha type spirit. How many of you bear witness to that? That you feel that let my people go spirit in you. That's the truth warriors for Yahuwah. They got that let my people go. And what happens is when that desire becomes so hot. See, most of us look at Masha. I'm telling you, you got to look at those that was in that mud. They were down there making those bricks out of straw and mud. And they were crying out to whoever the mighty one is. They didn't even know Yahuwah's name. That's how suppressed it was. They were crying out, whoever the creator of this world is, like I cried out in 2007. I can feel them because I cried out the same way. But I can't even compare. I can't even sniff the suffering that they were going through in that mud and that straw. And they cried out so deep that it says Yahuwah himself heard it from the heavens. And it says that Yahuwah himself came down to see what's going on. Think about that. Yahuwah himself heard that cry. Now, what I believe, some of us have got so frustrated, have got so tired of being deceived, felt like something wasn't right. And in our spirit, in our capacity, in our time, me, some of you, cried out to Yahuwah. This is ridiculous. And I believe Yahuwah's come down. I believe with all I got that Yahuwah has come down to check on this final call himself. He's been waiting for the right people. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe what I believe. I'm doing a live on the Promote the Truth platform that we started, and it's for those who want to come in and they can analyze and they can say, well, I believe how you believe. Or they can be polite. Don't be impolite, because I go into multiple channels, and if I don't like it, I am a gentleman. Guess what I do? I just leave like a gentleman. I don't. Give me a second to get my mic straight. Sorry about that. Whenever I go in this deep, y'all know I short out mics and stuff, and I got to reset it. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, y'all already know. I already gave y'all warning. When I go in like this, I'm gonna short stuff out. It's a guarantee. It's not even a maybe. It's indescribable. It just is. So I believe, and it happened to go out when I said I believe Yahuwah has come down, and he's heard our cry. I know he heard my cry, because it was in 2007. My cry was a very authentic, heartfelt cry. I seriously did not think I could go on with all the confusion, because I've been reading the quote Bible, which I didn't understand at the time was a pagan name. Can y'all hear me now? Check. Y'all tell me if y'all can hear me now. Lena came in and said she don't know if y'all can hear me now. Check. It's showing y'all can hear me. Y'all give me a yes, y'all can hear me. Give me a yes. All right, Paul. Yeah, I got to check. Everybody says they can hear me. So, thank you. I just believed. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Coles. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Lou, y'all, all y'all good. Lena came in. She must have been on a delay. Listen, I was authentic about that. And the reason I'm starting everything out like this is because look at the first caption of the title of this message tonight: Truth Warriors. I believe when you want the truth so much, you got to go into warrior mode. That's what I believe. I believe you got to go into warrior mode. And I think that relates over to when Yahuwah says in Yirmiyahu, when you seek for me with all your heart, soul, and mind, then I will be found. Yahuwah is not soft. Yahuwah is not weak. Yahuwah only respects strength. And that's period. And I'm getting ready to prove it to you tonight. I'm taking you back through a 400-year story. They've been in captivity. And I believe those last ones doing that straw, there was so much got built up in them. They just said, that's it. Whoever the creator of this world is, you're going to have to come and save us from this. Otherwise, we can't do it no more. That's what I believe. And that's who we got to be. We have to go into that mode. And there's not going to be a gazillion of us do it. We got thousands of people that are subscribers to the Promote the Truth channel. And I'm telling you, there's not 144 real ones yet. I expect 144 real warriors for Yahuwah will show up in about 6 months. I believe in about 6 months with these type of messages, because they've never happened since the internet. Since Yahusha has resurrected, as a matter of fact. These messages that we're giving, I said the internet, and I got checked by WARRIORS. Quick. As soon as I said the internet, bing, I had something in my spirit going, are you joking? Look how this got suppressed. How did my name, how in the hell did King James Version even show up on the planet? This shouldn't even be here. This is disgusting. How did it happen that King James gets his version and people allow it to happen? You want to know why? Because there wasn't no truth warriors. That's what, there wasn't no truth warriors. There wasn't no people crying out like those in that mud going, Yahuwah! And they didn't even know his name. But because they said, whoever, like I said in 2007, and this is my exact words, whoever the creator of this world is, I'm talking to you. Think about that. They had to say it because it says that Yahuwah himself came down and said, I've heard the cries from my people. Now, so when he says my people, these are people that he's going, this group of people got an affinity for me. But see, just because he has an affinity for you, don't mean he gonna take you with him. You can say, he can say my people, but then you got to know him to go with him. Wayne in here, Mobile, Alabama. Let me do a check before I go in. Y'all see I'm about to go in? Shout out to Rich. Can y'all tell I'm getting ready to go in? Now, Liddy from, man, we got a bunch of people coming in from Fiji. I told y'all South Pacific is going to come in. All right. If y'all shorted it out again. Hold on. I got to get my mic back. I'm shorting it out. Y'all hear it sounds different? Check, check, check. Now it's going to sound better right now. Watch. Told you. I'm probably going to short this out 2 or 3 more times. Y'all be patient. I'm shorting out the systems tonight. Y'all put go in if y'all want me to go in and go ahead and complete the mission. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm only going to be here a short while. And then I'm out. You see that, Mike? It's crazy. I'm telling y'all. I said it's going to happen. This message is so hot because Yahuwah came down himself. And he's come down again, in my opinion, and said, that's it. And when he came down, he don't come down to just solve it right away. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Yahuwah, when you study his word, he don't come down and just typically go solve it. He comes down and he tests who in here really loves me. I'm going to hook all of you up that really love me, but I got to check y'all out to see if y'all love me with your lips. These people's lips, they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Yeah, that's why I said I'm bold in saying There's not 144 real ones on this earth right now. They're not here. They're getting here. They're being built right now. Some of you are right now being built. You saying I'm 144, you got to hold on to it. We'll know in about 6 months. Cece from Fiji. We got Fiji representing in here tonight. Come on. I want to go to Fiji, by the way. I want to do a Yahuwah. What are we going to call it? I want to do a Yahuwah gathering in Fiji. I claim it in the name of Yahuwah. I just said it. I want to personally go to Fiji. And I want to do a Yahuwah gathering. I just felt that in my spirit. Y'all start working on it. Set it up, Fiji. Keep growing. I'm coming to Fiji. I rarely say what I just said, by the way. So Yahuwah, after 400 years, he got this thing set up. And then he goes ahead through a progression, and now he's got to go test Masha. Masha don't get just a pass. Everybody's going to great Masha, the great Moses, right? No, he got tested to the max. Most of y'all wonder, what's going on? Is this normal? Should I be here going through this? Are you above Masha's call? Possibly. But even if you were in the realm of Masha's call, you got to stop complaining and you got to start analyzing. What did Yahuwah put Masha through to prove he was a real one? He was a 144 type. What did he put him through? You knew Masha when Yahuwah said, hey, go down there and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. I bet y'all Masha had his can cocked back. He walked up in there I bet he walked up in there strolling like, Pharaoh, let these people go. The one that created everything, including you and me, told me to tell you, let these people go. You better do it. And he felt in his mouth that when he said it, Pharaoh was just going to do it because Yahuwah had told him. Y'all know it. And when Pharaoh said, I don't know no Yahuwah. Get out of here. Masha went back. Read the scriptures. Masha went back with his head between his legs. He was tore up. And then Masha said, Yahuwah, he didn't listen. Go back and tell him again. Go back and tell him again. So Masha thought the second time, for sure, he gonna let these people go. Yahuwah would probably just tested me that one time. Oh no. It's about 10 times he had to go back. Do we not understand what went down in the scriptures? Can y'all imagine if you were literally talking directly to Yahuwah? And Yahuwah tells you go do something and that they're going to do it. And when we go to tell them they don't do it, can you imagine how discouraged we'd be when we go back and talk to Yahuwah? And finally, Masha went back and said, he's crying. And Yahuwah said, hey, stretch out your staff and watch me deliver you. You see what I've been doing in essence. You can see what Yahuwah was doing. He was building Masha, Moses, to be a warrior. You got to have a certain type of a posture about yourself to get this. You just do. Let me give y'all a wake-up call. You're not going into eternal life weak. It's not going to happen. Many of y'all think, my situation and Yahuwah coming. He sent you to help, called his name. Once you have his name, he expects you to start working on yourself day to day to get stronger. Just like you in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, or whatever in the country your segment of troops are. He expects you to become a warrior. Don't come crying lying to me, Yahuwah saying, about something I gave you the power to change. That's pretty much what he was saying to Masha. How do we know? Because Yahuwah ain't no joke. You got to know who he is. You have to know. Hey, Lena, come here. Lena, I need you, babe. Because I got to go in. Lena's going to say hi to y'all. And then I'm going to come right back. I'll be right back. Lena's coming in. Y'all say hello to Lena. She's coming in right now.
Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay, how's everybody doing? Just getting everything here set, working with our boy. I'm really, really proud of everyone that come tonight into this call. And we keep, praising Yahuwah, spreading the word. This is the most important thing. So make sure you are sharing this. Make sure you hit like, and you also hit that. So you have two things. You have the heart on the right bottom, and then if you go out of the chat, you see the like. So that's important that you do it too. I'm very impressed with all the comments, the support, everybody from different parts of the world. And I love the part when Jay was talking about the Fiji. We can do something amazing somewhere else in the world. So I think that will be very nice for all of us to be able to get together. I think what I have loved the most with all this project is being the heart of every one of you, seeing the cooperation, the friendship, the community, the unity in the name of Yahuwah has been what impacted me the most with all this project. So I want you all to keep going strong. Every one of you know what you want in your heart. And if you do all the things in Yahuwah, all those desires are going to come true. So make sure you stay in the right path. Remember, next week we have our new moon day. So it's going to be awesome for all of us to reset and start a new month. Love you all, and I'm happy to see you. Bye.
Little tag team. Y'all know what's going on. I had to go to the bathroom. So I said, honey, you got to come in here before I go in because I know it's going to be deep. So I got to remember to go to the bathroom before I start these. I'm in there translating, working, and all of a sudden I hit live. And I'm like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. And I don't want to be distracted having to go to the bathroom. Are y'all ready? All right. So Paul said 48 watching. All right. That means people ain't hitting the like button. So y'all got to go hit the like button. Paul's telling y'all, everybody stop. I'm not going in. You got to hit like. That means you get the algorithm up. That means you get more people in here. Paul's telling y'all, y'all not hitting the like button. All y'all got a like button. Hit it. It's simple. That's like minimal stuff to do. We even tell you, hit the like button. All right. Hallelujah. Does everybody hit the like button? Like. Y'all ready? All right. Amber said 25 likes. Got more people than that in here. Got more people than that. More than double. So everybody watch, hit the like. Look, Tiffany said, I hit the like on both my YouTubes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. So now do y'all understand how I set this up? And again, these lives are real. So sometimes I got to go to the bathroom. Sometimes I got to get something to eat. You never know what's going to go on. So here's the deal. Shamut, chapter 15. Shamut, chapter 15. We done went through the whole progression now. Masha's been called. Yahuwah's heard it. Masha's been called. Masha's been tested. Yahuwah done sent all kind of signs. The people done doubted him back and forth in the desert. They're crying, complaining. All of a sudden, Pharaoh sends all of his camp after them. It's about 1 million people. And they're right there by the Sea of Reeds, the Red Sea. And they now are locked in between the desert and the sea And they are sitting there screaming at Masha going, why did you bring us out here? That's going to be some of y'all. Like, listen, don't call on the name of Yahuwah and don't go all the way for Yahuwah, because all of a sudden you're going to have Satan trick you. Satan hates you with all he's got. And if he ever hears somebody call on the name of Yahuwah, it's a guarantee he's going to try to test you to take you out. I'm telling you that for strength, not to scare you, not to discourage you. I'm just telling you what it takes to go into eternity with Yahuwah is strength. Hardly anybody's teaching the strength part and the reality of getting eternal life with Yahuwah. It says over and over, those that endure to the end. Why do you think he keeps saying endure? Endure involves being a warrior. That means you got to be strong. Nobody can endure being weak. Weak people give up. Weak people pass out. Weak people die off. They don't endure to the end. So he says only those, it's in the scriptures, only those who endure to the end. Y'all think I'm playing? We got to make sure we get that. We can't play around with that. Y'all know that? Think about that. This is simple. This ain't like even hard. Right? We got to go to what? Matityahu, chapter 24. Let's go to Matityahu, chapter 24. Let's go in. Because we got to make sure that what I'm talking about is on point about this warrior message. Matityahu, chapter 24, verse 13, I think it is, right? Right? All right, here we go. Listen, I'm going to start in verse 11. Matityahu, Matthew 24:11. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. I'm telling you, there's a high probability that you, like me, were led astray. You were taught wrong. You got terrible habits like I used to have. I got rid of my terrible habits. You got to get rid of your terrible habits. The way you do that is you become a warrior. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. Verse 12, Matthew 24:12. And because of the increase of lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. You not even want to deal with the commandments. In verse 13, but the person that endures till the end shall be saved. The one that endures to the end are the only ones that shall be saved. And the end could be when you take your last breath. You are promoting Yahuwah. Don't take your last breath weak, because you can't have confidence while you're sucking in your last 8 to 10 breaths and you were weak. Don't expect to see Yahuwah. Go into your last breath going, all right, I'm good. You're just checking me out. My time's up. I did what I was supposed to do. Breath over. Boom. Next thing you wake up, he's called you out. And verse 24 says, and this good news of the reign shall be preached to all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come. Now I'm doing tonight exactly what Yahushua HaMashiach told me to do in this message. Before he said this good news will be preached throughout all the nations as a witness, then the end will come. He said, we got to teach the verse before, those that endure to the end will be saved. That's what has to be preached. The good news is you can do it if you hold on to Yahuwah. That's the good news. You can do it, but you got to endure to the end. Look, Amber's like, this word is powerful and needed. Well, watch this. Who is Yahuwah for us to know him? Yahuwah, John 17:3 says, this is eternal life, that you are to know him, the one and only true allure, that we have to know him. All right, let's go over to Shamut, chapter 15. Exodus is Shamut, chapter 15. Now put your seatbelts on, because now we get to know who Yahuwah is. He just brings them out. They chase him into the desert. Yahuwah brings them. He's parsed the seas. All that million people come through the seas. All night it took them to go through there. They get through the sea. Then all of a sudden he takes the fire down that was separating the Matrium. The Matrium, that's the Egyptians. They all of a sudden come chasing them through the sea. Yahuwah then lets the waters fall down on top of them. He took them all through that test, all the way to the max, until he showed them something devastating that nobody could ever forget. And this is what happened. This is Shamut 15:1. Then Masha and the children of Israel began to sing a song to Yahuwah and spoke in the song saying, they start singing, I sing to Yahuwah, for he is highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. Yahuwah is my strength, and he is my song, and he has become my deliverance. He has saved me. He is my all, my allure, and I praise him, allure of my father, and I exalt him. Now listen, verse 3 is going to tell you about Yahuwah. Y'all ready? Verse 3 going to teach you that this is eternal life, that you know him. Now they're going to say in verse 3, chapter 15 of Shamut, who he is so that we can know him. They say Yahuwah is a man of battle. Yahuwah is a man of war. Yahuwah is a man of war and battle. Who is Yahuwah? This is eternal life, that you are to know him. They literally said, right quick, they were singing a song. Yahuwah is a man like us. We're made in his image. Yahuwah is a man of war. Watch. Then they say this in the same verse. Yahuwah is his name. He cast Para and his chariots, Pharaoh, and his army into the sea, and all of his chosen officers, and he drowned them in the sea of reeds in the Red Sea. Oh, yes, that's what he did. The depths of the sea covered them, and they went down to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Yahuwah, has become a great power. Your right hand, O Yahuwah, has crushed our enemy. And in your greatness of your excellence, you pulled down those who rose up against you. You sent forth your wrath, and you consumed them like stubble. And with the wind of your nostrils, the waters were heaped up, and the flood stood up like a wall, and the depths of the sea became still in their heart. And the enemy said, I'm going to pursue them and overtake them. I'm going to take everything they've got, and my being is going to be satisfied on them. And I'm going to draw out my sword, and my hands are going to destroy them. But you did blow your wind, and the sea covered them, and they sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Yahuwah, among the mighty ones, the Allahim? Who is like you, great in set apartness, awesome in praises, working wonders? You stretched out your right hand, and the earth swallowed them up. In your loving commitment, you led the people whom you have redeemed, you purchased in your strength, and you guided them to your set apart dwelling. And the peoples all around, they heard about this, and they anguished and gripped the inhabitants of the Philistine. People everywhere heard what Yahuwah did. Everywhere they heard what Yahuwah did. We still talking about it. And some of y'all don't believe it. We need 144 people on the earth that believe this way. I'm one. Fact. Because I'm not coming up in here weak with y'all. It ain't going to happen. I'm not coming up here telling you what your ears want to hear. It's just not going to happen. Because I will go against my spirit in knowing who Yahuwah is. Yahuwah sent me to tell y'all, I'm not who you think I am. You think that I understand you being weak. I don't. I demand you being strong like a great teacher. My son's in martial arts now. His teacher won't accept him being weak. He builds him to be strong. I played sports. Coaches don't do great coaching weak players. They do great getting players that are weak to become strong. That's what Yahuwah is building up. He's building up his set apart ones. We're going to be set apart. It's going to be a minuscule amount of us. And it's going to start, in my opinion, with a real 144. A real 144. Not with the lips, but with their might and their works and their deeds. We're going to prove it. Now, hold on. Yahuwah gave me some more. Hazun, chapter 19. Oh, so I was in the Tanakh. Some people say, no. The Old Testament, that's done away with. It's all about the New Testament, the British. Okay. Let's just assume you're right. So we're going to go to Hazun, chapter 19. And what we're going to deal with? We're going to deal with Hazun, chapter 19, and we're going to deal with verse. I want to go to 11. I want to go to 11. But I got to watch it. All right, verse 11. Hazun, chapter 19. That's Revelation 19:11. And I saw the heaven open, and there was a white horse. And he who sat on the horse was called trustworthy and true. And in righteousness, he judges and makes war. That's in the, quote, New Testament, the British. It says that Yahuwah makes war. You want to know why he makes war? Until all things are settled, until he gets things worked out in his plan, he'll remain a warrior because that's why he makes war. Now watch this. Verse 12, 19:12. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head there were many crowns. Watch this. Having a name that had been written, which no one had perceived. Watch this. I'm going to show you true scriptures versus Greek translation. Having a name that had been written. Slow it down. Having a name that had been written, which no one had perceived. And in the false translation, it says, except himself. And that is a lie. That no one had received except the one that receives it and himself. They left that part out. Some people say you can't know the name because it says over there in Revelation 19:12 that the God, only he knew the name. No, you left out translation. except the one that receives it and himself. Why did you leave out the one who receives it? Because it's confirmed. It's confirmed in Hazun 2:17. It's almost word for word. See, the Greek people that most of y'all got hooked up under, they tricked you, but they can't trick the ones that Yahuwah is in because they couldn't cover all their lies. See, all the way in chapter 19 of Hazun, they forgot about chapter 2 in Hazun. They forgot about that one. Let's go to chapter 2. Hazun, Revelation 2:17. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. To him who what? Endures and overcomes. Only the people that overcome are going to get to see Yahuwah. Those of you that are playing a weak game, you're not going to get to see Yahuwah. I love you as your brother. Stop being weak. Work on getting strong. And we're here to help you day in, day out. If I'm not talking, we're not talking. Our videos are talking. Our replays are talking. You got to get strong. To the one that overcomes, I shall give them the hidden manna to eat. And I shall give them a white stone. And on the stone will be my renewed name written, which no one receives except, no one knows except the person that receives it. That's directly connected. That's directly connected to Hazun 19:12. You can't take them apart. So if you don't have a true scripture, if you don't have the true scriptures like we're bringing out, you're going to miss all of this and somebody's going to fool you out of your blessing. Now it says in 1911, he who judges and makes war. And then it says his eyes were flames of fire. And on his head there was many crowns, and he has a name that no one can perceive except the one who receives it and himself. Do you receive the name? Do you receive his name? Like if you say Yahuwah's name is above all names, all right, you can accept him. And then you got to keep progressing. Well, who is he? Yahuwah ain't no joke. He is a man of war, the scriptures say. What y'all gonna do with this? Huh? What did Dewey say about it? I got a couple notes. It's so funny that Robert Palzik asked me today. He's gonna listen to this replay. He's sleeping now, probably. He said, "Can you send me your notes? I want to translate the videos you've done in the Serbian and the Hungarian." I'm like, man, I just scratch stuff down. Once I do it, I throw them away. So I got a couple stuff scratched down over here, and then that's it. I let the Spirit talk to me. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I got a couple things scratched down. We're going to Tahliym. I should say, yeah, Tahliym. Tahliym is Psalms. We're going to go to 24. Yeah. What I scratched there, I got it. We're going to go to 24. Start in verse 7. Some of y'all heard this over and over. Tahliym, sign name Psalms, pagan name Psalms. Some of y'all think Psalms is so cool. It's a pagan name. Psalms, pagan Psalms, real name Tahliym, 24/7. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign of esteem, they call it glory, let him come in. How many of y'all heard that before? Lift up you gates. And let the king, the sovereign, is king of esteem, come in. Now, verse 8, listen to who Yahuwah is. Who is the sovereign king of esteem, sign named glory? Y'all heard that before? Who is the king of glory? How many of y'all heard that before? That pagan statement. Glory is pagan. Who is the king of glory? That's pagan. Who is the sovereign, sign named king, of esteem? Who is the king of esteem? Yahuwah. What do they say? Oh, in that Greek, guess what they say in this Greek mess? They say the Lord in here. Some of y'all respect this trash. I hate this book. You want to know why? It covered up my master's name. Who is the sovereign of esteem? Yahuwah, strong and mighty. Who? Yahuwah, mighty in battle. Why is it saying Yahuwah, mighty in battle? Because he is a man of war. That's who he is. Yeah. Lift up your heads, verse 9. O ye gates, even lift up, you everlasting doors, and let the sovereign, the king of esteem, come in. Who is the sovereign of esteem? Yahuwah of hosts. He is the sovereign of esteem. Selah. Selah means that's it. Chill out. Be quiet. He mighty in battle. Tahliym 18. Let's go. Y'all go over to Psalms 18. On my other note. Yep, we can handle this. I wasn't going to do this one, but some of y'all ready. I'm going to start at 33. Tahliym, Psalms 18:33. Making my feet like the feet of deer. So he's going to make you fast. When you step into who you really are, you're going to become fast. You're going to think fast. You're going to move fast. Some of y'all that can't walk, you're going to walk. Some of y'all that are hurting and you're sore, he's going to heal you up. He's going to get you moving fast. Making my feet like the feet of deer. And he sets me on high places. Verse 34, 1834, Psalms, Tahliym. Teaching my hands for battle so that my arms shall be able to bend the bow of bronze. And you will give me your shield of deliverance. And your right hand, remember that? His right hand back in Hazun. Your right hand supports me. And you make me great. You enlarge the steps under my feet, and my feet shall not slip. I pursue my enemies and I overtake them, and do not turn back until they are destroyed. I crush them, and they are unable to rise. They fall under my feet. You gird me with the strength for battle, and you cause my adversaries to bow under me. And you made my enemies turn their backs. And for those hating me, I cut them off. They cry, but no one is there to save. To Yahuwah, he answers them not. He does not answer them. And I beat them as dust before the wind. I empty them out like the dirt in the streets. You deliver me from the strivings of the people. You set me at the head of nations, and a people that have not known me, they serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they obey me, and the foreigners submit to me. The foreigners fade away and come to be frightened from the strongholds. Yahuwah lives, and blessed is my rock, and exalted is my allure of my deliverance. The allure who avenges me, and he humbles the peoples under me. My deliverer and my enemies, the deliverer of my enemies. You lift me up above those who rise against me. You deliver me from people of violence against me. Therefore, I give thanks to you, O Yahuwah, among the nations, and I sing praises to your name. You see what Dewey did? So he rolled like that. And Yahuwah said, this is a person after my own heart. This is a man after my own heart. And some of y'all are afraid to step into this mentality. But do you want to be a person after Yahuwah's heart? Yahuwah says you got to be a warrior. Look how Dewey is talking. And some of y'all are like, oh, I don't know if I can think like that. You ain't going in. You're not going to rule and reign. It's 1,000 years of ruling and reigning. Obviously, we're going to have to tear some stuff up with Yahuwah, obviously, because he said we got to rule and reign. Therefore, I give thanks to you, O Yahuwah, among the nations. And look what he says. And I sing praises to your name. Duweed is off the charts about Yahuwah's name, making great the deliverance of his sovereign. Yahuwah made him sovereign, made him king, and showing loving commitment to his anointed, to Duweed and his seed forever. He's talking. Some of y'all so afraid to step up to the plate of Yahuwah like that. You want to know why? Because you ain't ready to put in that work yet. That's why you don't talk like Duweed. Duweed's saying, look, I done made mistakes all out. I humbled myself. I put sackcloth on, and I'm wrong. And guess what? I got to get it right. And Yahuwah loves that. He loves when you might be weak, but you say, I got to get it right. All right, y'all get the message? Because I'm done. I wanted to go 30 minutes. I went more than that. I got about 4 or 5 more verses. We'll save that for Truth Warriors Part 2 in the future, whenever I feel led again. So thank y'all. I'm looking for those of you that are the 144. Yahuwah sent me to come and get y'all and round you up. And you got to, and listen, some of y'all understand we have 4 phases of the true scriptures. We were rocking. We got it rocking. We knocked those out. That ain't it. That was we said the base is the 4 phases. That's the base. Now you'll pay attention. Did y'all see the video we just released? Did y'all see the video we just released? Who's seen it? It's already rocking. Like it jumped off with a bunch of views, like fast. Hold on. Let me get it for y'all. Drop it in the chat. Staff, come on. Let's get that in the chat. Y'all remember that video we said the other day called Your Power in Yahuwah? Man, in about 30 minutes, it's already got over 100 views that fast. Wow. That thing's going to jump off then. It's right about 4 minutes and it's off the hook. It's about 4 minutes. And I want y'all to share with at least 5 people that need to be encouraged. Yeah, I'm going to make sure we put it in here. Sherry said it was awesome. Your power. I put that up in Yahuwah. Y'all go watch that video. Share it with 5 people because it's going to encourage people. And our voice talent, I got different voice talents that work for us that did the name video. We got a series we're about to do about 3 to 5 more videos with that gentleman. So those of you that's almost approaching 350,000 views, that video, that's the same exact voice talent for Your Power in Yahuwah video. So y'all got to go make sure y'all watch that, and then 5 people you share it with and say, if you need encouragement, watch this. It don't matter what their faith is. That video is made to pull people in, and it's going to very, very strategically drop Yahuwah's name in their spirit. It's a very, very strategic video. It's going to get hundreds of thousands of views. I can almost guarantee it. I can't guarantee it, but I can almost. It will get hundreds of thousands of views. You want to know why? Because Yahuwah helped me write that script. I wrote every word of that script. So when you hear those words, I wrote every word of that script. And he said, this script here, I wanted to be uplifted. I wanted to encourage people to be able to come into my love. You want to know why he wants you to come into his love? He will make you a warrior. He will make you a warrior for truth. So who of you are truth warriors in here? Y'all got to get over at tsnt.org. I'm going to say it every night that I can think of. If I forget it some nights because I'm ripping, I forget it. But I have to be obedient because Yahuwah said, hey, in my spirit, there's no real word. If almost the masses, probably 99% of the population don't understand real, authentic Abari, Hebrew, and Aramaic. They don't understand it. Like probably 98% or more of the entire population. Like when I show y'all this different stuff, like when I put those words up on the screen, like almost 98%, maybe 99 don't understand that. And Yahuwah is saying they're not going to understand my word then. Because every English version you got, I don't care if they took the names out or not. Shout out to Daniel, $25 super chat. Kingdom business is all. We doing kingdom business, Daniel. We love you, brother. Thank you for being faithful to Yahuwah. I got to get on that Zoom with you. Remember that. So almost everybody you're talking to, they don't understand Aramaic. They don't understand real Hebrew. Anybody that says, I understand Hebrew, that's Masoretic Hebrew. That's Talmud Hebrew. And that will cause you to deny Yahuwah's name. You will go in the opposite of what that David was doing. You'll go in the opposite. Paul, you're going to have to learn it with us. Paul said, where can I learn it? I'm telling you, I done scraped the planet. I had to learn it for myself. I was trying to learn it from people that said they know Hebrew. They kept trying to pull me into vowel points. They kept trying to pull me into, the word, it says this. And I think because I married a Latina from Colombia. My beautiful wife, Lena, is from Colombia. In Latin, the vowels never change pronunciation. And it's the same way in Hebrew. In real Hebrew, in like paleo authentic Hebrew, the vowels never change pronunciation. A hey is always an ah. Always. And ua is always an u. Always. So like in Latin, in Spanish, an I is always pronounced as an E, like E. And a letter E is always pronounced like an A, A, what's up, right? Always. So if you get the vowels dialed in, and then let me tell you, the people that are the people that are the fake people, they say there's no vowels in Hebrew. And Yahuwah's name is 4 vowels. And so they are lying from all over. We need truth warriors to perpetuate the truth. So what you got to do when you see tsnt.org, we're not playing. We need truth warriors. We don't need people to just say, hey, man, listen, let me make sure I clear this. If you gave and you contributed, we love you. We honor you. Thank you. What we need the most, even though we need that, what we need the most is those that perpetuate it, that make disciples. We need to teach, to teach, to teach. So each one teach somebody, to teach somebody, teach somebody. That means you influence them to go, we got to get the true scriptures here. And see, while I'm translating with the team every day, and we did almost 3 chapters today of Abarim, Hebrews, while we're translating, at the same time, we need to be advertising. I'm telling y'all the real deal. The truth warriors are going to listen to what I'm saying. So the truth warriors are going to be like, yes, we can't play. We got to look and see how things are working today. And if they're promoting Jesus over here and they got a strategy and we can figure out their strategy and we can go advertise against their keywords of their strategy. This is how it works. Then people that are looking for stuff dealing with Jesus will find stuff dealing with Yahusha that will lead them to Yahuwah. How many of y'all want that? How many of y'all want people that was ready to give their life to a pagan entity that doesn't even exist called Jesus? And all of a sudden they see a video come up and it talks about, were you looking for Jesus? And then all of a sudden it leads them back to Yahuwah. And you the one that contributed to saving them. That's why TSNT is so important. Fact. It's a fact. And it's never going to stop. Never. People say, when's TSNT going to stop? Never. Because once we get it done, we're going to support, then we're going to go over and we're going to get this Tanakh. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you are a real one, y'all going to have to go to another level. We did a great job. We got the 4 phases done. We pressed. We got it done. That's not it. I taught you how to go build. Now we got to, you see what Daniel, whenever he comes and contributes, he says kingdom business. Daniel, I told my son, that's what you understand. Daniel gets it. Daniel Bakote that helped out a lot of people. Show Daniel some love. I said, hey, listen, Daniel understands how we think. We doing kingdom business. We ain't here just to talk about the kingdom. We got to handle Yahuwah's business. Business deals with souls and finances, both. Because while this earth is existing, they're attached, period. We got to make sure that we financially are very strong to go up against this evil, dark system in this world. We got to get up there. And we don't need a gazillion people. We need 144 that say, man, I got you. We riding. We riding. And what 144 do, they wake up every day and they heard me say it. You can believe it or not. I'm telling you, the most important project in the world that has happened since Yahusha has came, died, and resurrected is the True Scriptures Project. That, in my opinion, is an eternal fact. Because the word, I keep showing y'all these King James, New King James, and all these other versions, they are all compromised. They all are influenced by Greek, I'm convinced now, Greek pagan influence or Judaism that hates Yahusha, or organized religion in Christianity that hates Yahusha, hates Yahuwah, hates obedience, or other organized religions and dealing with Hinduism, Buddhism, all these other things that teach you there's multiple gods. And we got to come out of that. And we got to get focused. And I'm telling you, it's not a bunch of y'all going to get this. Most of y'all, when I'm talking right now, I'm telling you, most of you are not going to understand what I'm saying. Only those who have ears to hear and that are Yahuwah's sheep from the lost tribes of Israel are going to understand this. And probably within 6 months, we'll have 144. You'll feel us on here. We go live, you'll feel about 144 show up consistent. And whoever comes on top of that is great. But you'll feel 144. We think the same, we act the same, we talk the same, we do the stuff the same. Why? Because we understand Mahashim. When the spirit comes up on you the right way, they had everything in common. You gonna argue with that scripture? Most of y'all want to be so different. Yahuwah says, I pray they be one as we are one. How much difference does Yahuwah and Yahusha have between them? Tell me any difference. Tell me one right now. Put it in the chat. Yahuwah and Yahusha. Tell me any difference they have with each other. Tell me one. Tell me one difference they have. Some of y'all gonna go, one's the Father, one's the Son. And they're one. The Father's the Son's the Father. How you gonna get around that? They don't have no difference. So why should we have difference? Well, we only have difference because some of y'all, you are literally becoming your own Elohim. You want to be on your own island, and Yahuwah is going to keep you on your own island. It's going to be called the island of fire. You got to get in and get locked and stepped. And if you haven't taken the time, the effort, and the energy to put the work in, you're going to have to say, all right, let me be quiet. Let me go study. Let me put the time in. In the meantime, let me support. That's it. You'll catch up to speed. Every one of you that are the real ones, eventually you're going to get up to speed. You're going to be like, Jay, you was right from the gate. Period. That's who we're looking for. Didn't Yahusha told us that the problem in the world was that the world didn't know the scripture? Yeah, they don't know the scriptures. They don't study. And how you going to study if you don't understand Aramaic and Hebrew? You can't study properly. Kimberly said, do we need to speak in tongues to be saved? I know what you're talking about. And all that Christian babbling is satanic. So that's speaking in tongues when nobody understands them. That's from the pit of hell. Speaking in tongues deals with languages, not blabber, ever. You want to speak in tongues? Here's one. Can you learn to speak in the Aramaic tongue? Here's a tongue you can learn to speak in. Some of y'all going to crack up on this. Speak in that tongue. If you can tell me that tongue and say I'm speaking in them tongues, then you can guess what? You can get saved like that because you'll learn the truth. But that blabber it's just demonic. It's to confuse you, to get you throw some money in the plate. That's all that is. I'm done talking. We went in. Stop getting confused. Support everybody. Listen to me. You got an assignment. When you wake up every day, your assignment for the 144, who I'm talking to for the next couple of weeks, and then I'll stop going pretty much every day. I'll go about 2 or 3 times a week. But you 144, when you wake up every day, you'll go, I got to get support to TSNT, either me or I got to get somebody every day until it's gone, until the advertisements are everywhere. You'll know it. We'll tell you. It's going to take about 6 months to get that rhythm of that flow of 144 together. If you're one of them, we'll see you rocking. I love y'all. Have a great one. And enjoy the rest of your evening or your morning, wherever you're at. I'm going into my evening, chilling with my family, and I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow. I promise you I'll be back tomorrow with some more hot stuff. Love you.